Hey guys, how's it going? Naked all day. Today will be the first commentating of a battle that I was not playing in. We are going to be watching over Panzer Leader. He's platooned. Let's just get on the video here with Reaver and Big. They're playing Erlenberg. They got a pretty decent chance to win the game, but that usually means nothing. They're playing in a tier 9 match. We got two Pershings. There's a tier 8 American mediums and an artillery tier 8. There's going to be a lot that's going on in this battle. And this just shows you that when you have a platoon of people that get together, what one platoon can do in order to change the status of any battle. If you work good together, the odds of you coming out with a victory are increased. And hopefully I could point out some of the tactical advantages we've had in this game, and also maybe some pointers you guys could use for yourself in order to be more aware on that battlefield, because I feel that that's probably the most important, is being aware of what's happening. Now, I have control over the mini-map size. That's me. I'm going to keep it kind of big for you guys. Notice that they're all taking the low ground. And this way, just a quick pause, if the enemy were to come down this line here, or maybe the road, you could pretty much see down quite, pretty far. So if they have a scout that just wants to rush the scout things, artillery maybe wherever maybe they're here, or maybe they're here, they could pre-aim and try to do some damage. So if you stay in this low road where they're at, that keeps you off anybody's radar, and the enemy doesn't know where you're at. Okay, back to point of view. We won't stay in point of view the whole time because, again, the object of this is to commentate what's happening on the battlefield. Okay, we have a T-71 Scout way ahead. That's not necessarily a good idea because he really has no support right now. But if he could spot anything, at least our team knows kind of what's coming, and that's kind of important. Now, they're already on our cap, and the time is ticking. That's going to be a constant threat. Usually, this will be the first adjustment that I believe they've made. They notice that the cap is starting to tick away. They were probably going to sit up behind these hills here and do some damage as the enemy comes down that valley, but now they're going to have to get closer and possibly start spotting the cap and maybe taking shots. So first improvisation that they've made, as far as I'm aware. Now, I was not on comms for this battle, but this battle did take place this morning, and it was something that I heard about later afterwards. Seems like these guys had a lot of fun. So the enemy team has at least 4 tanks. A Tortoise, it's a tier 9 tank destroyer. Pretty badass tank destroyer, as a matter of fact. Very strong frontal armor. There has its weak points, but it has one of the highest DPMs in the game. So a very formidable opponent. Now you can see Panzer is trying to spot the cap. He knows that if he could take a couple shots on that cap and keep the cap points down, that's a good thing. Because again, that threat's there. But we do have somebody in our team negating their cap. We have a capper of our own, which means that it's not going to go in any way. Now this ISU 152, yeah, he has a big gun. It's it's worth a lot. But if he dies, then it's not worth anything. And he's very exposed. Notice how Panzer here is using the house as cover. He is now dead, and we don't get to use his DPS or DPM or anything. Reaver over here, he's moving up, but he's also moving up behind rocks and houses, as you can see there. So he's trying to stay in cover too. Use the terrain, guys, to your advantage. Try not to trade hit points. That's what I've been told. Alright, Panzer Leader's now just poking. This is back to his point of view, so when he zooms in, we'll see it like he is here. He inches forward. Now using a hull down tactic, what he's using, and I'll show you once we come to a stop here. Okay, so now he can see tanks. I'm going to pause it. We're going to zoom out. Come way back by the enemy tank. Okay, now they're kind of hull down too. Very little bit of their tank is exposed to us. You can see the white outline of Panzer up there. And there's very small target. Now, the Tortoise has a very good accurate gun, but he's also showing very little of his tank. He's actually angled. So not only is he hauled down, but he's angled. So the only spot that Panzer has a chance of hitting right now is that anti-tank gun at the very top. So let's see what happens. We are now back to point of view. Okay, Panzer notices the anti-air gun, takes aim, fires, gets some damage. Now the tortoise doesn't move, so Panzer's exactly right in the stay aimed and get another shot. After that one, he realized he's taking shots. Now remember, if you've seen other replays that I've done on the Pershing, the turret's pretty beef, man. They took a shot, hit him right in the mantlet, but he took no damage. So, haul down tactics for this tank is a must. Now, Panzer also is looking for maybe a different angle on different tanks. He's always looking around for shots. He's taking his time. You know, we have a pretty decent force here. I mean, we're all medium tanks, and they have a couple heavy tanks. Theoretically, they should be able to own the enemy team. But now they got a heavy tank over there. That's the 112, I think. WZ 111. What is that? Yep, 111 1-4. We got a Tiger 2. We got a Tortoise. I mean, big tanks, and we have four mediums here, and or 3 mediums and a light tank. So Panzer looking towards the cap again, trying to see if he can't get a shot somewhere, maybe get lucky and keep doing damage. T-54 is also taking heat from the enemy. Alright, T-54 got the kill on the Tortoise. Now, Panzer missed that shot, but he was exactly right in aiming low there, close to terrain, because if you were to aim higher, the chances of ricocheting were much higher. So he took the chance to try to get underneath the track there in a side belly and try to do some damage, and it just didn't pay out. But that was definitely the right choice. Okay, so we won this side. Looks like the one line, they're outnumbered. It looks like they got 5, 6 tanks over there versus our 3, and they're not even our big tanks, really. Let's see what we got. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. T-34, T-25-2, and our IS-6. So yeah, we got a heavy over there. We got 2 heavies, so we should be all right. Back to the gameplay on this side. As they should have, the 9-0 line moved up. There's only 1 more heavy left, and there's 2 artillery. Now, Panzer just took a shot, and he's focused in on this guy, but he's moving back and forth. You can see him. Somebody else got the shot in, got the kill. This enemy tank now is pretty screwed at the moment. He's going to be surrounded. I mean, you just can't fight too many tanks, no matter what you are. You put 3 light tanks around that heavy tank, and he's going to die. I mean, it's just crazy. So as they mop up around here, I do believe since Panzer's on the hill, he's getting spotting damage in the artillery that comes in. Now at the time, the platoon has, what, 2 kills? So they're doing good. They're contributing. Still close battle, 6-4. Looking for an engine fire. Aiming at the back, he got the kill. Now, something happened. Our capper is now dead. The M103 is capping by himself. Panzer notices that, probably because of his mini-map awareness, and he's able to start shooting at him. He does need to get closer, though. And he needs to get closer not only because he needs to see the guy, but because the closer you get, the more accurate you are. But he doesn't want to, like, sit there and just take damage from him. So he's going to be very mindful of the terrain. He's going to aim and get loaded first. The M103 took a failed shot, probably a clutch shot, panicking a little bit. Now, let's slow us down. I want to show you something. Not everybody does this sort of thing, okay? Where he is, it seems pretty flat, you know? But he's actually in a little gully, right? I mean, he's still using his hull-down tactics. The terrain is blocking his belly and his side armor. And he's trying to only expose his turret. And we already know, look at that, bouncing off the mantlet. The cheeks of the turret are very small. That's about the only place, but also look at the angle at which the cheeks are. So, I mean, shooting at the turret is probably not your best option when facing this tank, but if that's all you got, you probably want to aim for the cupola. And if you're that far away, you're not going to really be able to get a shot on that, and then just look at the angle of the cupola. I mean, it's going to ricochet upwards or left to right, and you have to hit it, like, straight on. So he's using the terrain to his advantage. He's hauled down. We'll look at Reaver over there. He's crossed the bridge. Let's see. Can we zoom out more? And he's also trying to get shots in the M103 because they're separated and they have the angle of shooting at the M103 from this angle and from this angle. The M103 can't really hide because if he's hiding from the Pershing down here, Reaver, then he's got to move around to the side of a building, let's say this way. That gives Panzer a shot and vice versa. So the guy is kind of screwed. You know, he's being flanked and we're nowhere near him. Back to the battle. Constantly swinging his camera over to see if he gets a shot while also navigating the terrain. Now, we don't know what's happening with the tanks in the 1-2 line, but we got to know that they're moving up somewhere, and they're probably moving up quick because they realize that the 103 is taking damage. This guy is most certainly asking for help, you know. Tries to get a shot on the side of the turret, exactly where he needs to. The shell dropped a little bit, hit the top plate of that M103, and that's pretty heavily armored. So they got another kill, the platoon. So far, it looks like they're all up a kill now. So they've got 4 kills between the two of them. The cap pressure is no longer due to minimap awareness. Panzer was able to find the ISG 152. He's also now getting shot at by somebody far away who didn't take the time to aim. The T-34 over there just got tracked by Panzer. Doesn't even know he's out there shooting because he's just outside the view range, most likely. Panzer would not even be able to see him had it not been for one of the other tanks closer spotting him. But because he was tracked and not moving for a while, artillery took advantage. Actually, Big on the platoon took advantage, and now they're up 5 kills. Always paying attention to where the guys are, making sure that you're staying behind cover is really important. Keep zoomed out. Be aware of what's around you that can protect you. Try not to trade hit point for hit point. You want to take advantage. You want to have the advantage. And when you find yourself in a position where you have the advantage, you can exploit it as long as you can until that advantage no longer exists, and then you want to move on or adapt to an ever-changing battlefield. Always look around for opportunity. Panzer's really good at this. Tiger 2, he's shooting at just outside, just barely at his range, his view range distance, but he wants to contribute wherever possible. Every time you shoot your gun, the more hit points you're possibly damaging on the other team, so keep that gun firing. Now he's taking a big hit there by probably the Panther, or maybe the Black Prince. It's probably the Black Prince now that I think about it. Yep, the Panther is over there on the B line, trying to advance on artillery. We have a 103 over there trying to defend artillery as long as you can. This Black Prince, good expression. Tie your hands behind your back, sit in a chair, and get pushed downstairs. That's what this guy's doing. He is blindly just aiming and running right towards Reaver, and he is being flanked by a light and another medium tank. Sure, the Black Prince has some armor, but when you give up a rear shot like this, that's not going to help you. Nice shot. Okay, what's left? 2 tanks, Tiger 2 and a Panther, over there trying to go after our platoon mate, Mr. Big. Mr. Big is trying to move. You can see the square moving. Panzer is trying to assist. Got a shot on that Tiger 2. Tiger 2s don't have too much armor, or maybe they do. I don't know. But he got the nice hit. Aiming for the Panther. This is going to save Big if he could get a shot, but there's no shot. What does he do? Should he stay in the cap and keep pushing the cap, or should they leave right now and try to kill him and save him? Well, it's probably too late. So sitting in the cap and aiming, hopefully for a shot between the buildings like we just seen, is probably the best option. Now, not waiting for him to aim is also a good decision, because maybe that would attract him and possibly saved artillery. Unfortunately, Mr. Big will not survive. He leaves the cap. He wants to assist, maybe get another shot. Well, Mr. Big just died. We're going to push. They supplied their screenshots. We will put the screenshots in after this video clip. If you have any questions or comments, please make them. Thumbs up, subscribe, And yeah, hopefully I've given you guys some insight, and we'll put some more videos up. Appreciate the support. Appreciate what you do for me, and we'll see you on the next one, guys. Take it easy.